wading through all of this. It's warm out here, too. Can I join you guys? How about if we do this? And we let them know that we're really the outsiders.
Sure. We're not going to go any further.
It's just warm out here. Gosh, you guys, you know what? It was good in there, too. There's a lot of really good people in there. We should never forget that. I'm really sorry they locked you out here instead of letting you in. I thought they were actually going to let you in here after a while. But you guys are great. We really appreciate you being here. I think I will give you a little bit of the shortened version of what we said in there because a lot of you know our background. Most of you already know that we met in a 4th grade Sunday school class in Data. Do you guys all know that story? Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you that story over again, although every time I tell it, I build up brownie points, and that is actually pretty darn important because we spend a lot of time together nowadays. I will tell you this, though, that when I think back on the trip to Washington, D.C. that got us into politics in the first place, and I think of the first time we walked up those steps to the Lincoln Memorial, and it was like Abe's looking down on it as our country, I feel the same, folks. And when I looked to the left and I saw the Gettysburg Address for the first time in writing there on the wall at the Lincoln Memorial, it's truly moving. And I did this inside, and I'm going to give it to you out here too, because I just think it's so important to understand what this is really all about. When you look to the left and you walk up those stairs at the Lincoln Memorial, 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Later in that, he goes on to say that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. You guys, you being here today, this is what America is really all about. This is it, folks. When you go on to Arlington out there and you walk through those rows and rows of white headstones, and you get an appreciation for how many people have paid a great price to give us this great nation that we live in here now today, folks, it's worth the effort. It's worth the effort to fight back against the bureaucratic government that's been set up that is destroying our land through overtaxation, too much spending, doing all the things that are destroying our country. It's worth the fight, folks, and we are going to take it back. That patriotism that we felt the first time, and by the way, when I look behind me here, this guy, they didn't get this inside. This guy almost got us arrested on that trip. The inside story for our loyal supporters. The steps outside, if you look at the Lincoln Memorial, outside there's a banister about this wide. Well, he was a little bit younger at the time and a little bit more wild. He thought sliding down the banister was a pretty good idea. And the first time the police told him not to do it, it wasn't so bad. It was the second or third time that I started really getting it. Remember that? Yeah, it's a true story. Folks, I did go through a series of things that as governor that I think that you all should be expecting of me. We are going to have a conservative agenda implemented in the state of Wisconsin. Things like controlling spending and cutting taxes. Big ideas. You know, Tommy Thompson was in a meeting, I think it was about a year ago, February. I don't remember the exact date. And he said if Republicans are going to win the election, they're going to need to return to their core principles, and they're going to need to present big ideas to people. So let me give you a couple big ideas. First one, Wisconsin will become the best place in the world to do business. Just think about it, folks. Best place in the world to do business. Second, Wisconsin will have the best educated kids in the entire world. Folks, that's where our focus is going to be. Third, big idea. Government's going to get out of the way for our businesses so they want to stay in Wisconsin. They can grow and expand and provide job opportunities for all of us. Folks, I think about an agenda to lead us to these conservative values. I think about things like voter ID. I think like concealed carry. I think about issues like enforcing the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States and pushing back on big daddy government so we can return and restore power here to the people, to the states, and most importantly to the people. I think about these agenda items, and I can see where we're going as a nation. I can see where we need to go as a state to make this thing work. The bottom line on this whole thing, you guys, this is the United States of America. We live in the best country in the world, and we live in the best state in that country. And when you really think about this, we've faced some very, very difficult times today. This nation has faced tough times in the past. And every time we've faced them as a nation, we have stood together as people. Not as insiders, not as Democrats, not as Republicans, but as Americans. And we've taken our country back and restored it. And we're going to do it again. These tough times we're facing today, we are going to fight our way through these times because that's what we do as Americans. And you know what? At the end of the day, there's a whole bunch of kids and grandkids that are counting on us. Mine, yours, and others like them all across the state of Wisconsin. They are banking on us to do the right thing to restore our state and to restore our nation, and we're going to get the job done. So I thank you again all for coming. God bless Wisconsin, God bless the United States of America, and God bless each one of you.